This is Roy and Karen.
And where the heck are we now?
We're gonna go right over there and go hang out with our new friends. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is our week in and around the villages.
We just checked off our 6th out of 10 items in our Florida bucket list. But first, we gotta thank some people. And I'm gonna have to read this because there's a bunch of them this week. Very happy about this. Landgirl GB, again. I had to go to a thesaurus to thank you. I couldn't come up with enough adjectives. Thank you so much. So generous. Mark, Pam, and Buddy, again, so generous, so nice. And Todd and Cecile. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
These folks gave us a super thanks, a monetary thanks for what we do. We appreciate these things so much. We're just so grateful. Thank you. This week was Yukon's 5th birthday.
5th anniversary of our adoption.
That's his birthday, right?
But we are so glad to have that boy in our family. He's such an amazing addition to our family. And Daddy's boy, big time. What a bond they've formed.
My son, our daughter, Bridget, used to always refer to her dogs as her kids. And I always thought that was just kind of a girly kid kind of thing to say.
And she was.
That's my boy.
We're gonna get grand dogs. Now we got a son to go with the grand dogs.
That's my boy. We did something that you wanted to be the number one thing on our Florida bucket list.
We weighed heavily between 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It was my number one, and boy, was it amazing.
What was it?
We went to swim with the manatees this weekend. I mean, I've always wanted to do that. It's just, as soon as I read about that experience, it's like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. I haven't even swum with dolphins yet.
And that doesn't really interest me all that much. The manatees.
In their natural environment, it's just, whew,
this is really wild.
Yeah. So we went with friends. We went with neighbors that also had this dream.
We heard about this tour operator called Blue Heaven River Tours. And I checked them out, and the reviews were over the top. Everybody loved these guys. So we had actually made reservations for a private tour 2 months ago. But I had to go have a stent put in, and we had to cancel.
We went and put a crimp in our plans with that.
So here we are 2 months later. Doc says I'm ready to go, and we made new reservations. We got out there very early in the morning, and you can see it's pitch black when they're fitting Karen for her wetsuit. So how's the viewing been lately?
We've been seeing them. Yep. Been quite a few up there the last few days, but pretty warm today. Yesterday was...
So what does that mean? Better or worse?
Worse.
And then just as we've all got our wetsuits on, the sun is just starting to come up. We get on that boat, we get underway, and now it's light. It just couldn't have been any better. It was perfect. We passed these folks, these kids, who were practicing for their dragon boat runs or whatever they do, and the most unusual little
teeny weeny kayak kind of thing.
Kayak canoe thingies. I'd never seen anything like it before, but they were very cool.
I don't know if these hips would have fit in that thing.
I don't think I could have balanced in something that looks like it was less than a foot wide. But we got out there, and apparently it had rained a couple of days before. And our captain told us it was clear a few days ago, but because of the rain, the muck got churned up, and the water was very green and milky. It was very hard to see. So we get out to where the manatees are. The captain is pointing out where they are. And we all get we're all suited up. We get our masks on. We get into the water. And it just seems like everybody has found a manatee except for me.
So we went with friends. We went with neighbors that they got to see the manatee first. They were petting it and experiencing that, and I could hear them squealing through their snorkels and the excitement. It was just amazing. And I was looking like I was going to be an onlooker at the point. We were seeing them in the distance. I was seeing them experience this, but I didn't want to disrupt it, so I was a ways away.
You can see I'm taking this video of everybody's butts and everybody's feet because they're petting a manatee, and I can't get anywhere near it. It was kind of discouraging for me in the beginning. So that manatee took off, and we all got back onto the boat, and he went out looking for more manatees.
There were several in the area. They just, not all of them wanted to be hanging around with us. They were like, nah, out of here.
So he stopped at another place, and we all went into the water. And it was the captain would be yelling at us and saying, "To your left, to your right, stop, don't." And so you wanted to keep your ears out of the water so you could hear his directions. And at one point in time, I'm hearing him yell at me, "Don't move." And just as he says that, a manatee goes right under me. So I'm just not moving, and the manatee is going right under me. It was amazing. That manatee turned around. It was Angela and you and I, and he just hung out with us forever. And you're gonna see all this video. By the way, I screwed up the camera. I didn't know it, but I had it in time lapse. So it was taking one picture every second. Now, I've done the best I can to turn it into something that approximates real time. It's very choppy, but I think it is still pretty impressive. One of the most amazing things was they said don't make any sudden movements. It got to the point where I could just do anything. I was talking to the manatee, and I'm sorry because I had it on time lapse, all the audio's gone. But because we have full face masks, we can actually talk. We don't have a snorkel in our mouths. So I'm saying, "Here, manatee, manatee, here, boy, come here." And he would just turn and just face me, and he would just come towards me. I would push him away, and he would push him back on me. It was really, really amazing. I had to go to the bathroom, and I didn't want to go in my wetsuit. So I went back up onto the boat, but Karen hung out with this guy, or this girl. We didn't check him out, her out.
She rolled over for us. I don't know what she was. I didn't look. I was so in awe of this experience.
It was.
I mean, right there. Right there. Unbelievable.
And Karen hung out for another half an hour.
She just was floating around. She'd come over and check you out. She was nibbling at the moss on the prop of the boat. She'd come back and check you out, and she wanted to be pet, and friendly. It was just unbelievable.
He had gone under the boat to rub off some of his whatever, the growths on him. They do that. They'll rub on everything. And he rubbed some of the blue paint off the bottom of the boat. So now when you see Karen floating around with this girl, you see that blue on her back. That was from rubbing on the bottom of the boat.
Same manatee, just hung around forever though.
He refused to leave. He was even nibbling some of the seaweed off the engine mount. Yeah, it was wonderful. So we're done. Get back to the dock, and So then we decide that we'll go back to the villages. So we hit the road and we get stopped.
Detour.
So we take the detour, which takes us right back around where they told us we had to take the detour. There was no way out.
No.
Why are you stopping us? Well, because the parade is coming. So we couldn't leave town. We had to watch the Homosassa Mardi Gras
If you
parade.
can't beat them, you join them.
As Angela says,
He said, life is like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're gonna get.
We were looking for you earlier, but all we found were manatees.
Welcome to Homosassa.
You can tell we're not around from around here.
Either am I. Hi! We watched your show and your show.
Oh, that's a nice car.
it actually was a really nice small town parade. It was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it, and we ended up with a bunch of beads, and it was good.
And met one of our viewers.
That was very funny. When we're out of town, you know, that's the last thing we expect is to be recognized. But we did make it finally back to the villages, and we went to Prima
Italian restaurant.
Italian Steakhouse for their Saturday Sunday brunch.
Hello everyone from Prima Italian restaurant.
One of the things they have there that's really amazing is the Bloody Mary bar.
Are there any rules as far as this goes?
Just don't bring a plate up there. Just shove everything in the glass.
Everything else is good?
Yes, well, 3 bacon.
3 bacon, okay.
But that's
3 bacon, okay.
So I'm showing you some film of what the bar looks like. But what I didn't do is I didn't take a picture of what my Bloody Mary looked like. So I'm going to show you somebody else's so you get the idea.
We had live music and entertainment. Good meal. You know, those were all bonuses. We had a good meal there.
We think Prima's
A-okay.
A-okay. I would put it in my top 5 restaurants of the villages.
So, yep, we finish with one village experience. We go to a new village experience, and we celebrated a neighbor's birthday. It was a surprise party. That neighbor had some rough challenges and really needed people to come around and support and just celebrate, and that's what we did.
You could tell her eyes were watering, and she really needed that at that moment in her life. So it was just perfect timing.
And it's what people here do. When we've stayed connected, we talk to each other, we come out, and when we know somebody has something they need, we're on it.
Surprise!
We love being in the villages, and we love being around these people.
Yeah.
They're becoming family.
So everybody coming in, everybody bringing something, everybody hanging out and just celebrating.
Another family that we've talked about on these videos before had a kind of traumatic experience this past week.
So every morning we take our dogs for their morning walk, and our destination is the eagle's nest. They nested right next to the preserve for the eagles, but they've been there the 2 seasons that we've been here, and we enjoy going out there to visit them this time of year. We see them every morning, and then we see this post that the nest has gone down.
The tree broke, or the nest just fell,
or the weather, something blew it out. I don't know what happened.
Don't know what happened. I'm reading this so I get it right. The village's environmental team was there to assess the situation, and they said that it was a secondary nest for them, and they said they've been following them, and that they had not had eaglets there for at least 2 years. Now, I know we saw eaglets in there.
We saw eaglets last year.
Yeah. But we didn't see eaglets in there this year. So obviously the eaglets were in a different nest, maybe further into the preserve. I know we've seen the eagles flying. I know we've seen the eagles hanging out on warm springs. They're in the neighborhood, but that nest is gone.
Yeah.
And that's a bummer for us because it was so easy for us to walk by them and see them every morning.
Yeah.
So there's only 4 items left on our top 10 Florida bucket list video. We're gonna have to make a new video. Until then, you can check out this video right here. This is our top 10 Florida bucket list, and you can see what's left. Maybe you have some suggestions what should be on our next bucket list. In the meantime,
we appreciate you stopping by.
See ya.